We met on a blind date. My girlfriend said, hey, how about a Dodger game? And I said, sure. By the way, somebody's gonna be there. It's like, oh, okay, a blind date. Okay, I get it. I mean, going down this list of the attributes of a scout, he was real. I was checking that list off.
Since we were really young, you know, and your dad's throwing you up in the air, and the first time he catches you, you're putting your entire trust into him.
I always tell the truth, but he always says he kind of has to, it's like pulling teeth with me. He has to keep asking the right questions to get the whole truth.
And I went home one day and I said, Dad, would you let me do a prostate exam on you? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, but Dad, it's for school. And he goes, if it was between your life and a prostate exam, I would choose your life. That would probably be the only time that I would let you live for that.
We've been married for nearly 29 years, and I'd say with all my foibles and ups and downs, he is right there, being very, very supportive.
His family, he puts us above all else.
Actually, it's really funny. Literally last weekend, I had a case study and I didn't know how to do it. And so I went home and my dad helped me with my homework as a senior in college.
I think one of the most impressive things in terms of loyalty that I've seen from my dad is his dedication to wrestling. I mean, if you didn't have that kind of loyalty to a sport that helped shape your life, I mean, I don't know what loyalty can really be.
So I hope, you know, one day that I can be as loyal as he is to all the different aspects of his life.
When we were children, my dad used to help us with our homework. Even though he was traveling, doing lots of hours at work, he would always come home and help us with our math homework, making sure that we would get the right answers and why we got to those answers.
I'll be happy one second, crying at Marley and Me, the movie, and he just like is so helpful in every aspect. He always knows when to give me a big hug.
I went to Philmont Scout Ranch with 6 other boys and 6 other fathers for a 10-day backpacking trip. He always had the heaviest pack.
Whenever he walks into a room, he can make conversations so easily with anyone.
Makes people feel so welcome. Even if they're maybe the outsider in the room, he'll like go out of his way to make them feel comfortable.
And it's amazing, even in the hottest topics, he's the one in just kind of an anchor, really keeps everything in the smooth waters.
You know, the way he works a room, people gravitate towards him. They enjoy his conversation, they enjoy his presence.
Him telling me to get my elbows off the table or sit up straight, don't say like, don't say don't talk back. He has all the etiquette, all the manners, everything, but 10 times more than I do, more than I will ever have.
Making sure that when we walk into an event, it's my mom and my sisters who go first.
We were all seated, and one of my friends who was coming late, when she walked in, my dad stood up, gave her a hug, went and walked over to the other side of the table, pulled back the chair, and pushed it in for her. That is something that you don't really see nowadays.
Very attentive to everybody, and especially me. I'm the luckiest person in the world.
My dad is so nice. All my friends at school love my dad.
Treating us with kindness, even though he may have been stressed out, maybe he was tired. And so as I've grown up, I've appreciated my father's kindness and even his helpfulness.
We wanted a dog. There were 4 kids. We were like, we want a dog so badly. I was 8 years old, I remember this. My dad's allergic. He went every month for 2 years to get an allergy shot just so we could have a dog. And I was like, that is literally the kindest thing that you could do. Thank you.
From the stories that I've heard from my aunt, my dad was a very obedient son. He listened very well and tried to not do anything wrong, and I don't think he did a lot of things wrong.
So like he'll read every single direction. He'll like read the terms and agreements when you're like signing something for Apple, and then he'll do it. He really goes through all the rules. I've never seen him break a law. Maybe if he's ever gotten a ticket, he'll be like, it wasn't my fault. I'm like, I know it's not, Dad. He's like, no, the cop didn't see. I was just like, I stopped all the way, but then there was a car in the way. I'm like, okay, we get it, you're obedient.
He's very generous with his hugs. In fact, at work, I think some of his work colleagues were really surprised about his bear hugs.
First thing he walks in is he lifts up his arm and goes, "Hey, how are you doing?"
You spend a little,
Spend a little,
Spend a little.
Save a lot.
and give to charity.
give to charity.
And give to charity.
And give to charity. And I've really like to think that that's become almost a mantra for myself.
He just jumps into things, and when I say jump into things, this is what it reminded me of. We went bungee jumping.
It was my brother's 18th birthday, and we had to hike. It's called To the Bridge to Nowhere. So we hike 8 miles through a couple of rivers, and we each get like a couple of jumps.
We're all screaming, flailing, everything. My dad goes, hands behind his back, just falls.
And does the whole jump, we're like, did something happen? Why didn't he scream?
Like, stared the bull in the eyes. That's what he just jumps right into it, and he is so brave.
You walk into his office, and the angels start to sing. Everything is in perfect files, in perfect like stacks everywhere.
Oh yes, my dad is very clean, and I believe that I did get some clean traits from my father. For example, when my dad packs a suitcase, it is just perfectly aligned to a T, and it's interesting because I do believe that having a clean room, a clean space, gives each person kind of a greater sense of clarity.
Ever since we were growing up, my dad has actually taught us reverence without us knowing it, because he exhibits a deep love for his wife, for his children all the time, and that love comes from a place of respect.
Reverence is a good word to describe my relationship with my father, everyone around's relationship to my father, my dad's relationship with everyone else. It kind of embodies him.
I'm so fortunate. It's really been wonderful to share and be a part of his life because he's done such wonderful things.